Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Chappell versus Todd Cullins.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Good day. Ms. Chappell, you say the defendant, Mr. Todd, is without a doubt your daughter, Walesia's biological father. You say the only reason he denies her is because his fiancée, Ms. Cullins, doesn't want him in your life.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you're suing Mr. Todd for $2,475 for babysitting expenses and for lost wages.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr.
Yes,
Todd,
Your Honor.
you state there's no chance that the child in question is your daughter. You say Ms. Chappell will stop at nothing to get you back, even if it means pinning a child on you that isn't yours.
True, Your Honor.
You and your fiancé are countersuing in the amount of $375 for car windows you claim the plaintiff destroyed. So, Ms. Chappell, why do you feel you're owed $2,475 for these expenses?
Because I had a job, Your Honor, and he was babysitting the baby for me. And after he didn't babysit anymore, I had to start paying $75 a week for babysitting fees and lost wages, and I didn't have a babysitter, and I couldn't keep up with the babysitting fees, so I had to quit my job, and I don't have a job anymore. And here's my papers right here.
Jerome, will you hand me those, please?
I have never watched her baby, Your Honor. I don't even know when she had a job. I ain't never saw her with no uniform.
And you've never watched Walesia?
I never watched Walesia.
Your Honor, he has...
I don't even have a place to stay myself, so
At his cousin's house, at Shawana house. He has dropped me off at the
I'm not even staying.
All right, just a minute. You two were in a sexual relationship. Right?
Yes.
It wasn't no relationship.
It wasn't a relationship.
No.
You were just having sex.
Just having sex.
If you were having sex and she got pregnant, were you using protection every time?
No. At the time when we met, I was pregnant.
But
we never used.
When we met, she was pregnant.
She was already pregnant with a baby. But he accepted me with
But the other baby, Walesia.
With someone else's baby.
All right. Why is it you doubt that Walesia is your child?
Because at the time, she was messing around with other guys, and by me being young and just doing crazy stuff, I go and mess with her at the same time too. So she was messing with men all at one time. But this one never my girl. I was in a relationship with someone at that time, and she was messing around too. So at that, she felt.
So what you're saying, it was an understanding that you all had sex, unprotected sex, but that you also were having sex with other people.
It wasn't no for years. She was having sex with other. I had a girl at that time. I was in love. I had a main girl.
He couldn't be in love.
But I still had a main girl. Yeah, I was messing with her.
So, Ms. Chappell, do you admit that you were having sex with other people in addition to Mr. Todd during the window of conception?
No, Your Honor.
She a liar.
She was not even in the picture, Your Honor, so she has nothing to do with this.
What picture that was?
2011, I was pregnant with someone else, baby. Our baby was already here when they met, Your Honor.
All right.
Our babies were here before she came in the picture.
All right. Ms. Cullins, Mr. Todd, you also have a counterclaim.
Yes.
You are asking for $375.
Yes, Your Honor.
For car windows you say the plaintiff destroyed. Please explain to me the basis of that.
On a particular day, I had dropped Mr. Todd off to pick up his phone.
Lies.
Actually, Miss Chappell stole his phone.
Stole my phone.
I dropped him off.
The phone that
Miss
she
Chappell,
I bought him a phone, Your Honor.
Approached me and bust my window out of my car. I called the police on the scene, and I had proof that she bust out my windows on my car. She ran. I have
she came to
a
where
receipt.
she was. That's
how she get where I'm at.
And I have proof, and I have a police report that she bust my windows out on my car.
Do you have that evidence here today?
I do, ma'am.
I'd like to see it, please. Thank you. This is
And
an
Ms. Chappell
incident
did it.
report which says there was damage to private property.
And I do have the receipt too, Your Honor.
Windows were damaged. I'd like to see the receipt too, please.
This is proof too.
This is the receipt for the window repair, total $375.
Yes, Your Honor, that Ms. Chappell did.
Ms. Chappell, did you bust the windows out of her car?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
You did.
Because she came at me and we had an altercation. She came
It's
all the
about
way from
Walter.
Four Seasons.
It's about
And he
Walter.
was
It's not
already
about
out there in the
no, I
apartment where we
approach her
was.
and
He was in the
about
complex.
Walter.
She
It's
thought
about
we
Mr.
was
Todd.
together, so she came where we was
where she
at.
was
That's
at.
how she lived in
She's
Four
lying.
Seasons. We was in 2500 Central Street. She came where I was at. That's how her window got bugged.
All right, Mr. Todd.
She came at me with a lot of emotion, like we was about to fight. We did get into an altercation.
Hold on.
y'all.
When she
And-
came at you with this emotion, was she outside of the car?
Yes,
Then
yes,
when-
ma'am.
then
That's
she
how her
went
window
down back
got busted,
in the
and she
car.
pulled up where I was at in the apartments where I hang at my cousin's house. She came where I was. He was already out there because we had been together already. That's what
right.
she
I
knew.
pulled
That's
up
why she
with
came
her.
where we was at.
We was
and I
together.
bought him that phone that
At
she
that
said
time,
I
we
stole.
was together.
I took
We
the
came
phone back,
together.
Your
Her
Honor.
Okay.
phone. Yes,
All right,
she did.
so the bottom line is you do admit you bust the windows
Yes,
out.
ma'am. I did because that was self-defense.
All right. So
Self-defense.
self-defense.
What?
Yes,
She
ma'am.
What she
lying,
do?
Your Honor. She's mad that we're together. That's why she came out.
I care less
the
about them
company
being
that
together.
got
You Honor, what we
going
here
on.
for is
It's
the
about the
DNA,
baby.
about the kid. That's what I want to hear. That's the only thing I want to know. Is he the father of my baby? They can have each other. I don't want them. I want the blood test for my child.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Ms. Cullins, I want to bring you into this briefly because I want to understand what it is you know about the situation. Ms. Chappell says you don't know anything because you weren't even involved in this entire time. The baby was already born. So what exactly do you know about it?
When I first met Miss Chappell, we let her move in with me and Mr. Todd. We let her move in.
Wait a minute. You let Miss Chappell move into the house with you two?
Yes, because where she was living at was not healthy for her, the baby. And when I had a conversation with Mr. Todd, he said, this is a girl trying to put a baby on me, saying that this could be my baby. I said, well, we can move her in just so we can get tests to see if this is your baby. Therefore, that we can move forward with it. It didn't work out that way. We was taking the baby when she's out having sex with different guys, coming in different times of night while she's gone.
Okay, and so you feel like you moved her in and then she was avoiding getting the DNA test.
And what made me have doubt that this is not his baby, she doesn't look like Mr. Todd. And my cousin came and told me, she was saying it could be someone else's baby than Mr. Todd. So that's why I have doubt, because my cousin came and told me.
Ms. Chappell, do you ever recall saying that
No,
baby
Your
Walesia
Honor.
had another father?
No, Your Honor.
lying.
No, Your Honor. No,
And
Your
so,
Honor.
Ms. Chappell, then let me ask you, why are you so certain that Mr. Todd is your child's father?
Because when we was together, I told him that I was pregnant, and he was like, oh, this your third child, whatever. Well, he was like, our child would be the prettiest child, whatever, whatever. And I was like, okay, it's cool. We're gonna have our baby. And we came to agreement that he would be there for her. And when I had her at the hospital, him, his brothers, all of them came.
To the hospital.
Did you go to the hospital, Mr. Todd?
Yes, I went to the hospital. Yes, ma'am.
And why did you go
I went to the hospital because I was going to do an interview downtown at that same time around she had the baby. Once I got in there, the doctor said, who is the father? What one of y'all the father? I said, who it looked like? The doctor said, it looked like my friend.
No, it said your
On
brother.
God.
He said it
On
looked like
God.
his brother.
That's on God.
He said it looked
On
like his
God.
brother.
No.
He had
It
his two
looked like
brothers
my
with him and
friend.
said it looked like his brother.
Let's get some order. Let's get some order. Ms. Chappell, you have a witness. I want to hear from her. Ms. Matthews, what do you have to add to this?
My daughter was carrying her second child when she started messing with Mr. Todd, Your Honor. She was on her second child. She started having a relationship with him while she was carrying someone else's baby. After she delivered that other baby, then she ended up pregnant by him, which is Walesia, who looked just like him. He is my grandbaby father, and he know this. He know this.
But
This young lady, I don't know nothing about her. I don't know her because she wasn't nowhere around when these two started messing around. He was on his first baby mama. That's who he was messing with at the time when he was messing with my daughter.
Oh,
He was
what
with his
a
first baby mama.
mess.
I'm messing with no baby mama. I'm messing with
You was
my
with-
girl who I was with for 8 years.
All right,
Sasha.
listen,
But she
listen,
wasn't
listen,
in the-
She is
listen,
not my
listen.
baby mama.
Listen. Oh my God. It's like y'all playing tic-tac-toe or something. I mean, you just here, there, everywhere.
Playing tic-tac-toe, but this is his baby. He know it.
this sexual
you think that
activity
big
with
confident?
no protection, no regard. You all, is this what y'all doing just for a daily activity?
She just came back around me, Your Honor. We weren't even around each other. She just had came back, and I had sex with her. She said, I'm pregnant.
Lies.
I had moved from Overlook. They still staying up there. I moved.
Rizzo.
She came to her cousin's house where I was hanging at. I had sex with her.
Okay,
She
what
said,
about when
I'm
you
pregnant.
came to Decatur,
All right,
our house, and
so-
all
That's
that?
before all that.
Living with us for several months before he met this
So hold on,
lady.
Miss
met this
Chappell.
other lady.
Miss Chappell.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ultimately,
Yes.
you say he came to the hospital and inquired
was-
about who the child looked like.
Yes, I know.
Why do you think, if he came to the hospital to see the child, if you feel like you all talked about having a baby, why? Why do you think he's denying the child right now? What is his motive?
Like he said, I've been messing with other men, but he never denied her until he get with his fiance. She put in his head that this not his baby. Yes, I did live with them, Your Honor, but I did not get to argue with them. I never left on a bad term.
She wasn't
we was
even
in
in the
good
picture.
term when I got my bags
Your
and I
Honor.
left. And we was never in an
Your
argument
Honor.
or anything, Your Honor. We was in good terms. They
No,
still
we
would
was
call
not,
me
Your Honor.
and
No,
talk.
we was not.
They did not put my
That's
things
not
out.
the
I grabbed my things and I asked
When I was staying with them, Your Honor,
Miss Cullins,
Your Honor, we
why-
had-
her
why
mama
is
even
it-
came to me and said, that baby looked like you, cause the mama know I been denying the baby when I was staying with them. The mama even came to me and said, that baby looked like you.
You weren't denying the
I
baby when
was
you came to the
denying the
house.
baby when I was staying, but I was
you
buying the
was
baby
not.
camp.
Was
You
you
came
not?
to
All
me
right,
and
all
said
right.
it.
Hold
You
on.
said that baby looked just like
Mr.
you.
But you
Todd,
had not
Mr.
never
Todd.
denied her, Mr. Todd.
Is that what you're offering for testimony? Because if you're saying that her mother came and said the child looked like you, that would then support the theory that it was your child.
Thank you. That is his child. Cause
Just
that's
because the
his
mama
child.
said, she said, I've been claiming the baby. I never claimed the baby. That what made
All
her
right.
come and say
So,
the
all right,
baby
so-
do look like me.
all
But
right.
cause she know I wasn't never claiming the baby.
Okay.
I haven't
so
never been claiming the
Lies.
baby. But
That's
even before I met
lies.
her,
I
wasn't
need to know
claiming
one.
the baby.
I need to know one thing from Ms. Cullins. Why is it you allowed Ms. Chappell to move in? You say it's because you wanted to have a DNA test.
And because he had said this someone that's saying that this is his baby and the baby wasn't in a position where they was at, it was healthy for the
So
baby.
he acknowledged to you that there's a woman out there that says she has my child.
Thank
you. Correct.
But they are
Thank
not
you.
living in
And we want and go forward
conditions
to
that
do
I'm
it.
comfortable with. I want to have a DNA test. Can they come live with us until we figure this out?
And she
do
was
this.
scared.
So again,
and she was scared to go have
Mr.
one.
Todd, you then acknowledged again it was a possibility that you could be this child's father.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, you are my
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
so what are
Thank
your
you.
hopes for today?
I hope the baby don't come out my cause she ain't never a problem.
And
she
she's
don't
so
want to.
obsessed-
She don't want to mess
with
with her other baby dad. All the rest of them. She want to
so
come to
obsessed
me
with him.
and mess with me.
coming.
And
Well, you want
bother
to mess
me.
with her too.
But all the other men mess with her.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He messed with
He
us
was like,
like,
whoa,
behind
she
Miss Polly back, yes.
Behind
Thank
me.
you.
Look.
She mad because
Hey, bottom line is you got to pay to play.
Thank you.
Right,
That's
right.
He keep coming back to play. He keep coming
You
to
acting
play.
like it's
Y'all,
a
he
game. No,
keep coming
hold
to
on,
play.
Miss Cullins. I'm talking.
Yes.
That's the part that you are missing in this. Y'all acting like it's a game. Then pay to play. Meaning, if it happens that you are the father, then you have to step up and support.
Thank you. Thank
When
you.
you sleep with
Thank
a
you.
woman
Thank
without
you.
using protection, and you know that other men are doing the same, you know you're at risk for not just pregnancy, but STDs,
Everything.
HIV and AIDS.
Right. That's right. That's right.
You can play Russian roulette with your own life if you want to, but you're not gonna do it to this baby.
Thank
Right,
you.
right.
So ultimately, what is your hope, Miss Chappell?
Well, I know that this is his baby, and I hope that he's ready to help take care of her and be in her life.
Jerome, I'm ready for the results.
Yeah, results.
Results.
Thank you.
Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Chappell versus Todd Cullins, when it comes to 3-year-old Walesia Chappell, It has been determined by this court, Mr. Todd, you are not the father. And you're smiling, Miss Chappell?
Yes, because at the end of the day,
you need to find
this is his child.
girl.
What they did, they say, I ain't having sex with no one else, you want. I know this the only man I was messing with at the time.
Yep. I know it.
Miss Chappell, you were obviously having sex with at least one other person during the window of
But
consent.
at least we do know that he's not the father.
Yes, thank you.
Won't have to
Out
have
of
no
our life.
father
Yes,
no more. That's
thank
good.
you.
That's good.
Okay, now that we know the truth,
Yes.
we can start by these claims you have against one another. Ms. Chappell, you came in suing the defendant for $2,475 in lost wages because you said he would not babysit for the child and you lost your job. You could not sue him because he was not able to babysit. Yes. And now since we've determined that, in fact, Walisi is not his biological child,
yes,
he doesn't even have a moral obligation.
Right.
Or legal obligation.
Yes, Your Honor.
To babysit for this child. For that reason, your claim is denied.
Yes, Your
Judgment for the defendant. You all came with a counterclaim saying that Ms. Chappell busted the windows out of Ms. Cullins' car. You provided receipts that totaled $375. Ms. Chappell stood in court today and admitted she busted the windows out the car. And so that's a very easy determination. You do owe her for the $375 that it took to repair her car. So for that reason, judgment for the counterclaimant, and this is where we move forward. Keep in mind the big picture is that Walicia deserves to know who her father is. Yeah. That's all I want you to know. Take care of yourself. Good luck to you. Court is adjourned.
Thank you.